This is the question we're going to ask. Unless something insane happens between now and 8 o'clock Eastern time, or by tomorrow, if something insane happens, it looks like Mamdani is going to win and will be the next mayor of New York. So the question we're asking here on the Homeless Left, why are they allowing Mamdani to win? What is the reason? And we say allow because they will never let anybody win an election that's actually going to shut down the system, that actually is going to reinvent what the relationship with the voter versus the donor is and how they function in their office, and the money in politics, money out of politics, influenced by Israel, controlled by Israel, standing up to those agencies. Now, he ran a great campaign, an excellent campaign. Let's remind people what really put him over the top. And I have to say, this was the one of the debates. I don't know how many they ended up having, but none of those debates really mattered except this one. And this moment was the only one that mattered. And someone stitched this one together. But this is the famous, now infamous question at the New York mayor debate, where they were all asked where's the first place they would visit once they become mayor. And this was, I would say, the definitive moment for Mamdani. Watch this clip show of the answers to this seemingly obvious question.
By a mayor of New York, where would you go first?
First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism, go to Israel.
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel. My goal would be to take my first trip to Israel.
Mr. Mamdani.
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New York.
And you guys, that was funny that she had to jump in because it was a lightning round. So to be clear, lightning round, quick answer. Where would you visit? Israel, Holy Land, blah, 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 blah. It got to him. No, I'd stay here with New York. Can I jump in and challenge you on the lightning round? In other words, can I break the rule to kind of bully you in this question? Which is really dumb that she did that, because he was going to be ready with this.
And I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs.
Yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not
as a Jewish state?
As a state with equal rights.
It was no, he won't visit Israel.
I still answer questions very directly,
all right,
and I want to be very clear. I believe every state should be a state of equal.
Mommy, Mamdani said he's not going to visit Israel. He said it. No tixie backsies. It's pretty childish and juvenile. They all can stand up there and pretend that this is normal. So the voters, they understood that wasn't normal, and that pretty much elevated him. Now look, the debate we're having on this in this Homeless Left arena, and we know there's some harsher critics than others. We're pretty harsh too. I got to say, there's so many signs of an Obama kind of fine-tuned character here, fine-tuned theatrical piece that reminds me so much of an Obama campaign season versus an Obama presidency, right? Which are two completely different things. An Obama election season is when you engage with the people, when you go and you talk to them and you tell them this is a real bottom-up movement, and you talk about activism, you talk about having relationship with these organizations that you're going to continue into the presidency, and the things you're going to hold people accountable, and you're going to work with the people. You're going to be a person of the people, and this hope and change and this feeling. There's the emotions are very positive, a lot more put together than somebody like a Kamala Harris, who was a complete joke. This is totally looking to me like an Obama situation. And what do we know about Obama? He gets into office and he cuts off all of the ties with all of the organizations, and they were furious. They said, you said you would speak with us and have a relationship. It wasn't just about you winning. It was about you doing something. Well, then they gave him the Nobel Peace Prize, and it was over from there, right? Now it's time to go kill people in 5 more countries, not just the 2 that we were murdering people in, up it to 7 wars, which is the plan, right? 7 wars or 5 wars in 7 years, or was it 7 wars in 5 years? Whatever General Wesley Clark told Bush and Cheney, Obama took instructions. So, okay, now this isn't at the presidential level. However, it functions the same way. It functions in a way where the verbiage becomes interchangeable with policy and people believe that something was said. That means it's being done. Doesn't mean any of the things are going to get done. Probably not. But let's look at how the people are responding in a recent poll. And this is important. This was in the New York voter poll. It came out very recently. Okay, so nearly 1 million New Yorkers are ready to flee New York City if Mamdani becomes mayor, possibly igniting the largest exodus in history. Now, this hasn't happened yet, so this is just theory, but let's see how the polls pan out here. So hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers are prepared to bolt from the Big Apple if socialist candidate Zoran Mamdani wins Tuesday's mayoral race, potentially setting the stage for the largest population flight in U.S. history. An alarming new poll warned early Monday. And it's from the New York Post, by the way. Around 765,000 people of the 8.4 million residents who call New York City their home are actually preparing to leave. They're not just talking about it. They're getting ready. They're packing their bags. They're making phone calls. They're booking flights. Wow. With about 9% of New Yorkers sharing that they would definitely leave the city if he's elected the 111th mayor. Citing the survey, it was conducted by JL Partners. If those residents were to leave, it would be equal to the population of Washington, D.C., Las Vegas, or Seattle fleeing the city. That's how large this city is compared to, well, DC, is whatever we call that, Vegas and Seattle. Pretty large populations in there. Okay, so the percentage of New Yorkers is equal to an entire city of Vegas and Seattle and DC. That's pretty incredible. Another 25% of New Yorkers, about 2.12 million, said they would consider packing up and leaving. So the poll results highlighted widespread unease about the 34-year-old assemblyman taking over City Hall, warning that a mass departure could have severe economic consequences nationwide. When asked to sum up what Mamdani's New York would look like, respondents called it a disaster, hell, and, cover your ears, kid, a shithole. This was retweeted out by a friend of the show, Fiorella Isabel. Let's look at this. So below that, global updates say breaking, Israelis say they will never visit New York City if Mamdani wins and becomes mayor. Now, Fee goes on to respond to this and says, and she's one of those extreme, like I'm kind of aligned with her on this, that Mamdani is a Zionist light, that he's allowed to say certain things. He's allowed to, coddle to the pro-Palestinian protesters. But what is he actually doing? Is he getting in bed with the donor class, the Zionist class, after all? So she calls him a Zionist light moron. But, and this is the but here, if he makes Israelis stop going to the U.S., I consider that a win. And, that's the best propaganda he could use. So in a sense, and I see where she's going with this, in a sense, what she's saying is that even if all of this is for nothing and it's just another Obama manifestation, there is something to say about how people are responding to it. Even if it's fake in action, it's real in feeling. And if that feeling can inspire and inform less Zionists to be in the U.S., that's great. Why is that great, Matt? What does it matter if Zionists, Israelis, whoever come here or don't come here? How does it affect us? Well, to be very clear how it affects us, all you got to do is watch any clip of Zionists in the streets of New York with this. We just saw this. This is in the last couple days. Watch how Zionists behave when they see Jewish people supporting Palestine. Watch how they behave, and watch how the Palestinian protesters go to the rescue of the Jewish people being attacked by Zionists. Yeah, I said you heard that right. Check this out. This is in New York City right now. So he's yelling because the Jewish just got a sign, Free Palestine sign. And look what happened. So he's being let into this car for his own safety, and these are the Palestinian protesters that are protecting him. Imagine that. Imagine that. These pro-Hamas terrorists are protecting Jews. Wow. I wonder how much they're getting paid to do that by Hamas. Get out of here. There it is. So, as Fee says, if less of that is a result of Mamdani winning, then good. Then good. I hope he wins. I really do. I really hope he wins. But don't hold your breath, guys. It's not necessarily going to change too much, except maybe how people feel. And that's that. The FBI can continue with false flag operations, saying another 9/11 is going to happen. We have to stop it. So that part won't be good. But overall, if you have less Israeli Zionists moving here, then that's great.